His face split open in the middle of a sentence. Teeth, mandibles, eyes gone black in under a second. His voice never even stopped talking about some show he watched last night. And when his hand landed on my shoulder, I didn't feel a thing. I only saw it because of the knife rack. Because of the reflection. If I hadn't been looking at exactly the right angle, I would be dead and never know why. I worked the counter at a Subway. Doesn't matter which one, doesn't matter which town. What matters is the heat. My whole county had been baking for weeks straight. It was the kind of summer where the parking lot asphalt goes soft under your shoes. The bread proofer felt like a mercy compared to stepping outside. It was one of those summers where the AC either works or you quit. No in between. So when Nicholas started complaining the store felt cold, that stood out. Pants are part of the uniform no matter the season. People usually gripe about sweating through them, not shivering. And he had brought in a coffee. Hot, steaming, in the middle of a heat wave. Nobody thought much of it. Coffee runs are normal. We all keep something in the back to sip between rushes. He said he had found some little independent shop a few blocks over. He said the taste made the heat worth it. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? We cracked a few jokes. Called him a demon. Called him a sun alien. Then the dinner rush hit and the joke died with it. Nobody mentioned it the next shift either when he brought in another cup. I didn't even clock it happening again until much later. I was turning the memory over in my head like a coin I forgot I was holding. God damn it. 2 days after that, Hannah walked in carrying a cup from the exact same shop. Complaining about the cold, same as him. Nicholas wasn't even scheduled that day. But the two of them had closed together the night before, so we joked he must have passed her something. Infected her. Little flaming spores jumping from one host to the next. God fucking damn it. Go ahead and call me an idiot. Nobody expects the joke to be the answer. How many times have you laughed something off? Some strange little detail. Some conspiracy that felt too stupid to be real. Last month we decided Lewis had wandered in from a mirror dimension because he was suddenly making subs with his right hand instead of his left. Turned out he had just bruised it in his car door. That is all a joke ever is, right up until it isn't. The thing that really tipped the scale happened 2 days after Hannah started with the coffee. The lobby was empty. It was that late afternoon lull between the lunch rush and dinner. She was in the back talking to Cole about nothing in particular. Their voices were low under the hum of the soda machine. I was moving past both of them with a drink in my hand. No lid on it. Condensation was slicking my palm. She stepped backward right into me before I could say a word of warning. The whole cup went down her back. Ice and soda soaked through her shirt in half a second, and the smell of syrup hit the air. She screamed. She moved faster than I have ever seen a person move. So fast that I ended up on the floor. My spine was against the counter. My shoulder was wet and my ears were ringing from the impact. Hannah was on the ground too, leaning into Nicholas, sobbing like she had been burned. Cole just stood there with his hands out, not knowing where to put them. They sent me home early with full pay for the rest of my shift. It was Hannah's idea, since she was clocking off soon anyway. She texted me apology after apology while I drove home with an ice pack pressed to my arm. She said she had hurt her back earlier that day, and the cold soda against the bruise had made her react without thinking. I never asked how she got my number. I never asked how she got hurt or when or why it never came up before. You don't chase down every loose thread. That is a thing people do in mystery novels, crawling around on their hands and knees hunting for a stray thread of black fabric caught in the floorboards. Real life doesn't work that way. You skip right over the clue because nobody ever told you to look for one. 3 days later I came back to a counter with 4 coffee cups lined up. Names were written in marker. Hannah, Cole, Martin, Nadia. Joseph was closing with me and Hannah that night. When she stepped out to deal with the recycling, he pulled me aside and asked if I had noticed it too. The warmth, the coffee, the way they all flinched from anything cold. He was the only one who ever touched the walk-in freezer anymore. Every single shift he worked, somebody new had joined the pattern. He had finally put it together. The second he said it out loud, my own memories started rearranging themselves to match. All those little habits I had filed away as nothing. The double layer of gloves before touching cold ingredients. The way none of them ever smelled like sweat after hours running food in that heat. I hadn't missed it. I had just refused to look straight at it. Joseph had his back to the door when he asked what I thought. He asked whether I believed something was actually wrong here. Past his shoulder, through the gap where the door hadn't quite latched, I caught Hannah's eye watching us. Listening. So I told him nothing was going on. I told him people can drink whatever they want, heatwave or not. He walked off the second Hannah came back in, and the two of us finished closing without another word between us. I left before either of them did. Lying in bed that night, another memory surfaced. Hannah and Nicholas had closed together the same night she got hurt. I had told my friend he was crazy, and now in my head he was already gone. I couldn't sleep. I checked my phone out of habit. Tomorrow's schedule had me closing with Joseph. Some part of me still clung to the lie that none of it connected. I tried to tell myself that Joseph was seeing shapes in static. It wasn't distrust. He had been a friend long before he was a coworker. I just hadn't let myself see the pattern. But I only refused to say it out loud. Every second of that next shift scraped at something under my skin. Everyone was acting normal, friendly. Joseph never once treated me differently. He never gave me so much as a cold shoulder. And that was the part that got to me. I was walking straight into a room full of monsters because admitting what they were felt worse than the danger itself. Call me an idiot. Fine, I was one. 5 cups were lined up by closing. One of them said Joseph with the marker still wet. The store felt a few degrees warmer than it should have, and I didn't say a word about it. I didn't invent an excuse to leave early. They could have killed me at any point during that shift and hadn't. What was I even proving? That the job mattered more than my life? That nothing was wrong? That some part of me wanted this? I knew exactly what was coming the moment the last customer left and the front lights clicked off. I knew it walking to the back with Joseph beside me. Every step felt like walking to my own execution. Sweat was running down my spine, my breath was catching in my throat, and still I didn't stop moving. Why didn't I run? Why didn't I fight? I don't have an answer even now. Above the dishwasher on the hanging knife rack, I caught his reflection mid-sentence. He was talking about some show, his voice completely level. And then his face split open. Teeth first, then mandibles pushing through skin like it was paper. It was a wet sound I felt more than heard, buried under the drone of the dishwasher. His eyes went solid black, edge to edge, with no white left anywhere. His voice didn't stumble once. He didn't drop a syllable, still narrating that show like nothing in the world had changed. His hand settled on my shoulder, right over the spot that had been bleeding days earlier. I felt nothing. No pressure. No warmth. No weight. If that knife rack hadn't caught the light just right, I would have had no warning at all. I shoved past him and threw open the freezer door. The cold hit us both at once. He reeled back, shouting like it burned, his hand snapping off my shoulder. I dove inside. I slipped on the floor, landing hard on my elbows and chest. The door slammed shut behind me, metal thick enough to swallow whatever noise he was making on the other side. I dragged myself to the back wall, as far from that door as the room allowed. Boxes of frozen bread were digging into my spine. Smoke curled off my shoulder where something black and solid was spreading under the apron fabric. Something that hated this cold worse than the rest of me was hissing faintly against the frost building on the shelving. No pain though. Not unless I touched it. Just cold and the low hum of the compressor cycling on somewhere above my head. He gave me the cold shoulder. After everything, that is the joke my brain landed on. Writing this down feels insane. I am laughing in a freezer while I bleed something that isn't blood, but there it is. The worst part was how little it actually hurt. If I didn't look and didn't touch it, I could almost convince myself none of this was real. My mind kept trying to hand me an easier story. You will wake up soon. This gets forgotten. The world keeps spinning without you noticing. I pulled off my apron and wrapped the shoulder rather than look at it any longer. Then I found the temperature dial mounted inside the freezer itself, which was standard for this model. That meant he couldn't touch it unless he came in after me. If a splash of soda made Hannah scream, and if a blast of cold air sent him stumbling backward, then this room was the one place built to keep me alive. My perfectly sealed cage and my only shelter. A minute later, the door cracked open. I remember every second of what came next. No matter how badly my mind wants to bury it, I won't let it. Abby, come out of the freezer. I didn't answer. I didn't have an answer. It won't hurt, I promise. I'm still your friend. And it was true. Technically, the shoulder didn't hurt beyond the chill. But that didn't touch the fear underneath it. You're going to kill me? I said. No. His voice stayed human the whole time. There was no growl underneath, no strange pull to it. If I hadn't seen his face come apart, and if I hadn't clocked the coffee cups, I would never have suspected a thing. The cold was the only crack in the whole disguise. I was scared too when it happened to me. But it passes and you come out the other side feeling better. Not different. I'm still Joseph. You'll still be Abigail. How do I know you're not lying? You don't. But stay in there and you'll die, and it'll hurt doing it. And we'll just come collect you tomorrow morning anyway. My breath started coming out ragged. Little clouds were hanging in the air in front of me. Please, I said, not even sure what I was asking for. I already knew there was no version of this where he let me walk away. Abby, once there's enough of us, the world actually gets better. No more working yourself sick just to survive. No more starving. No more war. We fix it. All of it. Part of me wanted to believe him. Wanted to think dying for a cause beat dying for nothing. His tone never once turned angry. He was patient, like a parent talking a scared kid off a ledge. Come out, please, you can trust me. But it wasn't Joseph anymore. Whatever wore his voice now was something else. I wasn't handing myself over to somebody else's utopia. I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. He went quiet outside while the call connected in my ear. The dispatcher sounded calm and professional. 911, what's your emergency? I almost told the truth. I almost pictured cops showing up with no idea what they were walking into. But nobody was going to believe me, so I gave them something they could act on. I told them my coworker had locked me in a walk-in freezer, that he sounded unstable, and I gave the store address. Abigail. The dispatcher's voice hit different the second my name left her mouth. Cold and precise like a needle. You can trust us. Come out of the freezer. The phone slipped out of my hand. Whatever wore that dispatcher's voice kept talking a while longer before the line finally went dead. Silence outside after that. I didn't call again. Maybe I should have. Maybe the next operator would have been one of them too. Or maybe not. Maybe the whole world isn't gone yet, and I'm just the only one who can't tell anymore. I'm calling my parents next. My family. My friends outside of work. Anyone who might still pick up. But first I needed this out of me. I needed to ask. How fast are they? How bad is the cold for them really, or does it just slow them down? Are they one mind or separate ones wearing separate faces? Could I outrun this if I tried? Does the frozen stock in here count as a weapon? Or am I already theirs, and this whole freezer is just them letting the game run a little longer before they get bored? If nobody out there has an answer, that's fine. Just knowing someone else is scared alongside me will have to be enough. I can already feel my fingers going numb. The tips are gone waxy and slow to bend. My shoulder has gone from cold to nothing at all. The compressor keeps cycling above me, steady and indifferent, the only sound left in this whole store. Maybe that is frostbite setting in. Maybe it is something else entirely. I keep telling myself I can ride out the temperature. I can keep moving enough to stay warm without wandering near that door. Maybe that is true. Maybe I was finished the second I clocked in today and just didn't know it yet. Maybe for walking in here, knowing what I knew and saying nothing, I have got this coming. If you're out there, if you're actually human, please, tell me something. Anything. I don't want to die alone in here.